Welcome to Safe to Succeed, the podcast for ambitious women who are ready to elevate their success, wealth, and confidence, and who are done with getting in their own way. I'm Kirsty, a subconscious and identity coach for women, and in this podcast, we dive into the beliefs and blocks that hold you back from being unapologetically you, so that you can step into a life that feels abundant and alive. And my promise is that you're going to leave every single episode feeling seen, inspired, and equipped with the tools to take your next steps towards the woman you're meant to be, because success starts within. So grab yourself a coffee or a glass of wine and let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of Success Starts Within. For those of you who have been following and heard me badger on, I am doing a talk on Friday in front of 120 women. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So last August, I decided that I wanted to do a lot more public speaking, and an opportunity came up where I could speak at a 2-day conference. And I put my name down and I got accepted, and it is this week. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, my emotions have been all over the place. And I've been doing loads and loads of nervous system work, which has really helped to keep me more grounded. But it is those old stories that I used to tell myself that have started to resurface. And I haven't worried about what other people think of me for a long time, but they're starting to come up. And this is what happens when you become a new level, when you expand yourself. Sometimes these stories do pop back into your head because it's new level, new devil. And as we expand, we're going to feel certain resistance and certain things. But luckily, being an identity coach, I know exactly how this works and I know exactly how to move through it. So I've been doing lots of work on myself so that when I stand on that stage on Friday, I feel absolutely amazing and I deliver an awesome talk, and it really impacts the people that are in the room and people get it. But yes, it's this Friday. So if you are hanging around on Friday and Thursday as well, because it's 2 days at Kingston upon Thames, then I'll put the link in the show notes. Come and watch me. Come and give me a bit of support and come and be one of my cheerleaders, because it would be nice to to have some support there. But it's going to be amazing. And I keep anchoring in to that feeling of what is going to be when I'm finished, because I know for a fact I'm going to feel so good. I feel really activated by my talk, and rather than thinking about this side of the talk and all the things, I'm focusing on what it's going to feel like. And again, that is exactly what we need to do when we do identity work, is focus on the future and how that is going to make us feel and the impact that it's going to have, not only on us, on our business, but our families, other people, because I'm standing on that stage showing people that it's possible for them as well. So yes, I look forward to catching up with you next week and telling you exactly how it went, and really just doing it and just relishing in those feelings of pride and joy and happiness that I've done something that I never thought that I would have been able to do just a year ago. So today I want to talk about a reel that I put out a couple of weeks ago about making my first 10K in my business and how I did that without any coaching offer. So we get so stuck in the perfection, making sure that our packages have a lovely name, it has great taglines, it has lots of information, and people have as much information as they need in order to say yes. But actually, it's nothing about that at all. What I found when I was selling my services is that people don't care about how many coaching sessions you have. They don't care about what is involved. They just want to know how you're able to help them. And each and every one of you has a business of some sort. And it may not be a service-based business. It could be a product-based business. But ultimately, you help people to achieve something. So one of my lovely friends, she has a business where she is selling home fragrance products. So there's diffusers, candles, wax melts, all of these kind of things. And people buy into that because they want to feel something. When they smell a certain smell that they have floating around in their kitchen, they want themselves to feel relaxed. They want to feel luxury. So when you're speaking to people, I want you to speak into that. You don't need to talk about the product so much. You need to talk and speak into how what you're selling is going to make you feel. And that's what I got very good at, was being able to communicate and clearly articulate to people how working with me is going to change their life and change their business. And that is where I started to get the clients in, and I started to get the interest, because the way that I was speaking about it was with pure conviction and pure certainty. Because I know how to support clients and I know how to get them to where they want to be. But if I was to spend all this time trying to package it up into something with a shiny red bow, the person that I am, the perfectionist, would probably still be creating that package now, because I would be getting caught up in the wording, the branding, the colours, the style, the fonts, all of those things. But that's not the important thing. And there's so many women that are selling just on Instagram without a website. And I'm talking about people that I know that have got six-figure businesses who don't have a website yet. But what they're very good at is telling people what they are able to support them with and how they're able to get them there and what their end goal is going to be. So when you are thinking about your packages and you are procrastinating on the fonts and what you're going to put in the wording, I'm going to challenge you to put that aside and just start talking on social media about the results that you can get people to have, and see the difference not only in your engagement but also in how you feel, because we do get very caught up in the logistics, but ultimately the clients aren't buying the logistics, they're buying the transformation. And talk about your story as well. So when I was doing it, I mentioned how I went from selling 4 coaching packages to £150 to then selling a package for £2,222. And the way that I was able to do this was because I fully believed in what I was able to do to support women. I fully believe in it because I've been through it myself. I know what you need and I know how to get you there. And when I spoke in that way, and when I spoke into what the client was feeling, that's when people started to get into my DMs, because they could feel it. They felt so seen, they felt so heard, and they felt fully understood. And you don't need to wait for this perfect wording to explain it. Just talk from the heart. Talk from the heart and talk from a regulated nervous system. And what I mean by that is, don't force anything. Just speak as if you were talking to your friend. And that is what people are going to buy into. And that is exactly what I started to do. I started to talk. I used to pretend that my friend was in front of me and that I was talking to her. And the shift that I felt was big, because I wasn't putting myself under that pressure of I'm trying to sell something. I just was having a conversation with my mate. And that is probably the biggest thing that I did to make me my 10K months, 10K in my first year of my coaching business. Now, I'm not advocating to not have any coaching packages. I'm not advocating to not have a website. What I am saying is that I know what works, and just talking is the best way. And it's so simple. And I hear so many women say, oh, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I haven't got enough information to really start talking about my offers and how I can help them. Of course you do. You know exactly what you do, and you know exactly how that makes people feel. We buy into feelings. We don't buy into facts. So think about how your client is feeling right now and how you can best support her, and be very specific. Don't be general and say, well, I can help you make more money. Be specific in how much you can make them. I can help you make 2K extra. I can help you to pitch yourself on a podcast, for example. Be very specific, and you can make lots of content around this, but be specific in what you're identifying and telling the client that you can help them with. And these are the kind of things that I did to make my 10K year, my first year in business. And now I do have my main character shift and the iconic shift. I have packages, but I have clients already, and I have a following way before I had any clarity and any offer. So I hope this has been a useful episode. I am going to start having some guests on my podcast because I would really like to start hearing what other women are going through, because I know my experience, but it's so nice to hear what other women are experiencing in their businesses and how they are able to manage it. And we're going to be talking a lot about identity work. We're going to be talking a lot about the subconscious recoding, the nervous system work, and just talking about people's journeys, because I think it's really important for us to highlight other people's journeys, because what you see on Instagram is the polished version, but how they got there is a completely different story. So I will keep you posted when I have my first guest coming out, which will be in a few weeks. And if you would love to come and talk on the podcast, if you want to talk about what your journey has been and how you feel as a businesswoman, then drop me a message on Instagram. It's at Kirsty_coaching. No, say that again. It's at Kirsty_Mason_coaching. And drop me a message and let's talk about it, because I'd love to hear your side of things. I'd love to involve the audience, because ultimately this podcast is for you guys. And yeah, I love to talk to women. I like to hear about their different stories. So have a great day. And if you are thinking, yes, I really need to have this belief in myself, but I'm just lacking it right now, then the Main Character Shift is a 6-month program that I support women to become their main character and to get rid of all of these voices that the inner critic tells us that we can't, and to start stepping into that main character identity, the one that you desire to be, and the one that is making the sales, the one that's having the big impact, the one that's got all the clients. And I would love to support you to go through this process so that by the end of 2026, you don't even recognize yourself. You're somebody completely different. So yes, drop me a message about the podcast. Drop me a message with the word shift if you are thinking, yeah, I need a bit of this in my life. And let's get chatting, or just come and introduce yourself, because I would love to meet you. Anyway, have the most amazing day. Bye. Thank you for listening to Success Starts Within. I hope you're leaving today feeling inspired, grounded, and one step closer to the woman you're becoming. And always remember, success starts within. I'll see you in the next episode.